Hello, I'm Harry from TV, remember you don't have to. And a Happy New Year! Today we're going to be reading some more Painted Tears, and I'm sorry for the long wait in updates. I was supposed to do a Christmas video this year, but obviously it's too late for that now. And I was just a bit too lazy, I was too busy enjoying myself. So without further ado, let's begin. We're going to be reading Painted Tears, Chapter 6, Running the Kingdom. Lorna rode through the forest on her bike back to the palace. She didn't know what to do. If she told everyone about the clown creature that had kidnapped her, Stella would most likely get hurt. When she got there, she saw that everyone in the palace was in a frantic search for Stella. Guards were searching the areas, and Lorna could even see police cars parked outside the palace. Lorna went inside and looked all around at the frantic servants and guards. Could she tell them? Suddenly, she heard a loud cough, and everyone stopped to see who had coughed. It was Jeremiah. People, please calm down, Jeremiah announced calmly. Until we can find Stella and bring her home safely, I will take charges. If the kingdom needs a ruler until we can find Stella, so I will take that role until we do. Everyone started muttering in agreement, and Lorna raised a hand in the air to get Jeremiah's attention. Yes, Lorna? Lorna coughed and spoke up. If I must say, don't you think it's a little odd that you seem to be the only calm one here when Stella's gone? Jeremiah looked speechless for a moment. Then he said, Stella informed me of where she is, but she swore for me not to tell her. Everyone dispersed, and Lorna was left alone. He didn't know what to do, so she went to find Jeremiah. She saw him talking to his parents and went up to them. Hey, Your Highness? Lorna asked King Henderson. The king looked down at the young girl. Yes, what is it, young lady? Is it really a good idea to let your son rule this kingdom? Lorna asked. The king and queen looked at each other, then at Jeremiah before looking back at Lorna. Well, we think so. I'm sure your sister would have wanted it that way. Lorna looked down. She knew they were right, but she was finding it hard to trust Jeremiah. He had called her about the circus house having a flower bed, and then as soon as she, then Stella, were taken, he decided to rule over Buckingham Palace, and he didn't even seem that concerned about Stella's disappearance. Suddenly, she felt an arm wrap around her shoulder. Lorna looked over to see a smiling Jeremiah. Relax, Lorna. I'll take great care of this palace. I promise. Lorna pulled away. Suddenly, she didn't trust the prince. Lorna, can you please show Jeremiah to his new room? Queen Henderson asked. Lorna was hesitant about whether she should let Jeremiah stay here or not. But then she said, Okay, follow me, Jeremiah. Jeremiah followed Princess Lorna to his new bedroom. His parents had told her that the prince had to sleep in the former ruler's bedroom. So that meant he had to sleep in the bedroom of Lorna and Stella's dead parents. The two royalties stopped at the bedroom door of the former king and queen, and Lorna paused for a moment before opening the bedroom door. "Well, here it is, your new bedroom," she quietly announced. Jeremiah took a step inside and gazed upon the big bedroom. "So this is where they sleep," he muttered. Then Lorna thought she saw a tiny smirk on Jeremiah's face. "Right. Well, I'd better get going," Lorna announced before backing off. She closed the door behind her and she quietly walked off back to her own bedroom. She collapsed onto the bed. What was going on? Why had Jeremiah told her about the big circus house? How did he even know about it? And why was he so calm about Stella's disappearance? Something wasn't right. Meanwhile, King and Queen Henderson were riding back to Goldshire in their fancy limo. King Henderson didn't know how to start the conversation, so he just said, "Are you sure it's a good idea to leave us and in charge of another palace, darling?" Queen Henderson turned to her husband. "Why, of course. With his brothers being next in line for the throne, it could be good practice for him. None of them are home long enough to teach him. Prince Albert is on a business trip, and their other two brothers, Max and Montgomery, are away doing goodness knows what." King Henderson grimaced and nodded. "True. I guess our son just felt a bit left out, that his brothers are always going to be first in line." The king and queen just sat back in their seats, and as the car drove on, they were worried about Jeremiah. They thought he couldn't handle being the new king of Buckingham Palace. Well, that's all I have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around next week or the week after, depending on when I upload, for the next chapter of Painted Tears. I'm Harry Free TV. Remember, you don't have to. You have a good 2021. That is if nothing worse than the virus ever happens. I hope there's no zombie apocalypse or end of the world scenario.